everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a collab with my friend Dee Dee Bean, and we wanted to come out and talk a little bit about how our rheumatoid arthritis affects shopping for handbags and choosing handbags. And for people who don't know, I know Dee Dee's mentioned it a few times on her channel in passing, and I have too. We both have rheumatoid arthritis, and just for clarification purposes, and I'm not a doctor, I don't play one on TV, neither does Dee Dee as far as I know, but I have been dealing with this for enough years and have basically gotten, firsthand information, and I've also done enough reading where I feel that I have a pretty good understanding of what the disease is. So first of all, rheumatoid arthritis is not the kind of arthritis that you get when you get old or from wear and tear or, the general kind of arthritis that everyone gets at some point somewhere in their body by the time they reach maybe even 50 or 60. I think that's like the average age where you start to feel something. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease that affects not only your joints, but it can affect any organ in your body. It can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can affect your liver, it can affect your ability to manufacture certain types of blood cells, because with RA, your body basically sees your joint tissue as a foreign invader, and it sends in all of these things to attack the joint. So literally, and this is the way I like to explain it to people, literally, if I sat in a chair my whole life, never walked, never moved my hands, it would do absolutely nothing to stop the disease from progressing, because it's not based on activity and it's not based on, protecting your joints, although that comes into play as far as helping to control symptoms. The only thing that can treat RA is medication. There are no diets, special diets, no keto diets, no vitamin supplements, no omega-3 fatty acids. Those things can help some people with very mild symptoms to a degree, maybe in the beginning, but once you're at the moderate to severe level, which is where I am, and I'm pretty sure Dee Dee is, and leaning more towards severe, those things are just not going to do anything. What they use to treat RA are disease modifiers, which suppress your immune system. So they basically keep the activity of the disease low so that your joints are spared. So what I want to show you now before I get into the bags, and hopefully you're going to listen to this part because it has a lot to do with what I'm going to say about the bags and my shopping habits. So I talked a lot about my feet and my ankles because that's the worst thing for me. My left ankle is really, my last MRI showed that it's end stage. There's really nothing that I can do except have reconstructive surgery, which I'm not really able to do now. So I'm looking for ways that I can kind of mitigate it and at least get out of pain. So, and that would only be temporary, and that would involve joint injections, possibly wearing a brace or going back to using a cane. So we'll see. But the one thing that's the most noticeable that usually people notice, and probably people didn't notice with me because mine isn't that bad, but I'm going to point things out, are things that happen with your hands. Now, for me, when I knew I had RA, I woke up, it was a Memorial Day weekend, it was on a Saturday, and I woke up, and this was in like 2002. I woke up and my hand was swollen, these first three fingers, all the knuckle joints, all of the first joints, into my thumb and into the base of my hand. And then the following day, I woke up and I had it on the other side, because that's one of the characteristics with RA. If one side is affected, the other side will be affected too. It doesn't just hit random spots. It's usually symmetrical. But anyway, it lasted, this initial flare lasted probably for about a month. I did get to a rheumatologist, and the first rheumatologist that I went to waited a really long time before he put me on any medicine. And then one day, when he finally did put me on, what was I taking at that point? Remicade. I was on Remicade, and Remicade is given by infusion every 8 weeks. And I said to him, you know, I'm taking methotrexate, I'm taking Remicade, and I'm not feeling any better. And he said to me, well, you know, you should think you're lucky. He says, because you could still walk. There's people worse than you. So I left his office crying, and I thought to myself, what kind of a doctor is going to tell somebody with a condition that's so damaging like this, that causes so much pain, that you should be lucky to walk? Like, how long is it going to be before I'm not able to walk? So I left his practice, and I went to my current doctor, who's been treating me for about 20 years now. I didn't stay with the first guy for very long. And luckily, I've been able to keep things pretty much under control. But I'm going to show you some things that are a little bit visible. So if you look at my hand, you'll see this hand doesn't look too bad, but this knuckle is swollen here. My finger, my thumb just basically stays in that position, and I'm not able to move my pinky. The little finger doesn't go all the way in and stay in because I don't have good hand strength. And you'll see that these fingers too, it's really hard for me to put all of my fingers together and have them stay together. So if you look at it from the top, you can see a little bit of swelling, and then this finger is bent at the center. That's called a swan neck, and that's been developing over, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. We could see how it kind of, it's loose and it dips down. So my other hand, my right hand, is a little bit worse. So I have the swollen knuckles here, pretty bad today. Swollen here, a little bit there, and my wrist has been aching really pretty bad, and I'm pretty sure that I have what's called a rheumatoid nodule in here, which is like a little, it's kind of like a hard cyst, and they tend to grow in joint spaces sometimes as your RA progresses. Excuse me. So on my elbow, this is just dried skin, but I have a lesion on my elbow that's basically like an inflammation that entraps the nerve. So that's part of the reason why I'm not able to move my hand that well. And this one's not in that great shape either. And if you look, you'll see that my hand tilts to the side. So that's called ulnar drift. And that means that this is something that's just common with RA. Your hand will start to go off to the outside. So this looks like it's inside, but this is actually the outside. See, it's like, bye-bye. Waving bye-bye. So they're just little things. And believe me, this isn't bad in the grand scheme of things. This is really not awful. But when I choose a handbag, I really need to think of what's going to be comfortable for me, what I'm going to be able to use, and know that even if I'm having a really hard day, that I'm going to be able to maneuver it and carry it with no trouble. So if you look through all the bags that I've bought and what I use in my other videos, you'll see that I use a lot of bags that are very lightweight. I do love top handle bags, but my top handle bags are super lightweight, like the Longchamp Le Pliage, which is, you know, really incredibly light. So another bag that I love, that's great for a bad day, and I meant to grab it and bring it over here, is my Marc Jacobs Micro, the tote bag. Because another thing that I do, if I carry a top handle bag, I like something that's light and that's small, that I'm not going to be able to pack a lot of things in. And I do tend to use those when I'm not going to be walking for a long time and have to hold it for a long time. I do better with the bag in the crook of my arm than holding it in my hand because, like I said, I don't have really good grip. So one of the things that I absolutely love is, of course, Louis Vuitton canvas. Now, one of the reasons why I love Louis Vuitton so much is because the canvas is so lightweight. And for instance, today I took this bag to work, and this bag it's pretty stuffed. I have my notebook that I always take. I have a cosmetic bag in here. I have my wallet. I have some makeup. I have my little cami pouch that holds my power cord, which I'm using to charge something right now. But even with this bag stuffed, it's still relatively lightweight enough that I could wear it on my shoulder and it doesn't feel extremely heavy. So it's just perfect for me. I don't have to worry that it's digging into my shoulder. I don't have to worry if my shoulder hurts that it's going to cause more pain. And if it does get uncomfortable on my shoulder, this bag converts to a crossbody. So you could just undo the tabs and make this a crossbody bag, and it's really comfortable for me on the crossbody setting. So another bag, of course, that I absolutely love is the Pochette Métis, because A, it's a crossbody, B, light as a feather, light as can be, and it feels really comfortable. And again, it's a rather small bag. I mean, you can hold enough. You're not going to overstuff it, but even when you have your things in here, it still stays really lightweight. Now, I thought that the push lock was going to be a problem, or the S lock, but let me show you. It's just one little touch, and then you just have to get it and touch it, and bam, it's closed. So, did I close it? No. Okay, I had to push it. You don't have to push it hard. You just have to kind of wiggle it, make sure that it's in the right spot. So it's just a little touch and then a little push, and that's all. So I can push this because it goes in easy. There's really nothing that you need to do, not a lot of maneuvering. And once the strap is on, you're good to go. So another bag that I don't like to use if my hands are bothering me, and I did start to use this bag, guys, is my Dooney & Bourke Henry's bag. And why? The beautiful clasp on this bag is a little bit cumbersome. So first of all, you kind of have to get it. This is heavy. I mean, for a tiny little bag, this actually weighs more than the Pochette Métis, believe it or not. So what you have to do with this is kind of pull it down and then lift over the strap, and then you have to go through these two flaps to get in the main body of the bag. I'm okay opening it usually, and again, if I'm not having a bad day, it's okay, but it's a little bit tricky for me to pull it. Like I'm having trouble now pulling this to close it. So today would not be my day to wear this bag. Yeah, there it goes finally. But now I've worked on it enough that it feels uncomfortable, guys. So I do have some heavier top handle bags. Like for instance, probably my heaviest top handle bag is my Aspinall of London tote. So that's my heaviest bag, and I do have it right here. And I knew when I bought this that this probably was going to be an issue, and unfortunately, guys, it is. This bag is too heavy for me to carry. It's absolutely beautiful. I put my things in it once. I carried it to work once, and it's been in my closet ever since. So I know people love Aspinall, and a lot of people love the London tote, and I love it in theory, but for me to hold this bag empty, it's really difficult. I really have to hold this with two hands. So once I put some things in it, the day that I did carry it, I just couldn't wait to go home and get rid of it. It really doesn't stay on your shoulder. Well, it doesn't stay on my shoulder. The straps are too short. Like now I could kind of get it and really bend it there, but it's not something that you're going to be able to keep up for a long time. But carrying this in my hand just as is, believe it or not, weighs as much as my Neo Noe. Maybe the Neo Noe is a little tiny bit heavier right now. But if I put all the things into this bag, it would be extremely heavy. So if anyone is interested in buying this bag, it's in brand new condition. I will be happy to sell it for what I paid for, which was somewhere around $280 with shipping, because Asphodel does charge shipping. Take a good look at the feet, and yeah, I want to love it, and I do love Asphodel. I don't have the problem with my Lottie, but this is just far above and beyond what I'm able to carry. And I know people will say, oh, I don't like a heavy bag, I can't deal with a heavy bag, but those people are, you know, just saying it out of preference. I'm saying it out of necessity. I just can't. But, you know, this was such a good deal, and it's just so beautiful that I thought, how bad could it be? And unfortunately, it's pretty bad. So I'll also make a community post, so anyone who's interested, if you're wanting to get a bag and save some money, this is cheaper than what Asphodel is selling it for on their website currently. Oh my. That's Henry having his own little party. So if you have any questions or want any more information, please feel free to leave comments in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer whatever questions I have. And now please go over to Dee Dee's channel, watch her video, subscribe to her channel. She is a lovely, lovely person. She's so sweet, and she's really like just starting her handbag journey. So it's really fun watching her discover new brands and kind of get into different things and discover what she likes, because she wasn't able to wear bags at all for a long, long time. So this is all kind of like a reboot for her. So go over and give her some encouragement, and you could hear some of her story. And I will see you all in my next video. I hope you all didn't think that this was a pity party, because I don't believe in that. I just wanted to put the information out there, and, you know, hopefully it'll help somebody. I'll see you in my next video. I have a good one for you coming on Saturday, and I'm not in the best mood, just fair warning. All right, bye. Bye-bye. I'll see you all later. Thanks.